So my background was working in nonprofit when I first moved back home to Digby in 2014. And there was a new pilot project called Y-Reach, which was part of the YMCA of Halifax Dartmouth through their Immigrant Settlement Association. So it really was providing assistance to newcomers in any capacity that they might need. So if a family came to me and said, we just arrived, we're looking for assistance with language, we have children, we need to enroll them in schools, we're also looking for jobs in the area, but we just also want information around recreation or healthcare services, whatever the case may be, it was a settlement worker's job, or what I made my job, to help them find the answers that they were looking for.
In light of that, what did you think of what Ahmad, Sarah, Carla, Katerina, and Rita had to say?
Their personal stories and being able to share what they shared just made my heart burst in so many ways, because there was a lot of positive. Everyone said how incredibly welcoming Nova Scotians are. The fact that communities were opening up their arms and their hearts and saying, we want you to stay here, and asking that question of, are you going to stay here? But of course, there's more work that we need to do. I think that there was some real truths that came through when we're talking about Carla and her experience of being a nurse and wanting to work in healthcare here in the province.
The process is very, very long. They are requiring a lot of documents and several tests, and it's also expensive.
That is so incredibly important for us to be listening, to be able to hear what her story was, and now to say, we're making changes so that we can streamline the process of credentialing and making sure that someone who's a registered nurse in their home country has an easier way to transition and settle and work in the province in their expected career.
Do you want to try to swing? Yeah.
There were some months where we were financially, struggling. Okay, a lot of things to pay for, and we're still, in the beginning of our life here.
Finding a place to stay, I think it's a major challenge. Some of them, they just can't find it, so they go to Montreal, unfortunately. We want to keep them here, but if they can't find rent, it's expensive and we can't find it even.
What can the government realistically do to kind of cushion that blow?
Most immigrants who do come to the province of Nova Scotia are coming through an economic immigration pathway. So they will have a job offer. But we can't shy away from the fact that the cost of living and other expenses, people do have to be ready and prepared with that information. So again, I think about myself as a settlement worker. If I had someone come to me and say, we're struggling and this is the support that we need, I would make it my job to figure out how can we support them in every way possible. And so perhaps it might be navigating government services. Maybe someone needs to register for income assistance while they're looking for work, but they need to know about those resources at the same time.
And is that happening?
I believe that it is, absolutely.
It really breaks my heart sometimes when I see some people so driven with high ambition and good qualification, but when they arrive to the country, they are blocked with certain bureaucratic process that unfortunately it takes time, a lot of time for them to eliminate it. And by that time, many of them, they lose that passion. I don't want to see that in Canada.
So what more can the government do to make sure that that happens before people get frustrated and discouraged and leave?
On government side, and this is where I continue to bring that information to any decision that I make as minister, is making sure that that makes sense. So when we're talking about streamlining, the changes that we've made in healthcare, the number of applicants that we're now seeing because of those changes, I think we are on the right path, but of course we have more to do. And that also includes conversations with other regulatory bodies.
People say hi, ask you how are you, or maybe even more, but they don't invite you to their place. For me, that's something that I would do at home. If I met a foreigner, I would invite them over, and just that doesn't happen very much here.
Whose job is it to try and make Nova Scotians understand that they are part of making immigration settlement a success?
We all have to work together to make sure that communities are welcoming, that they're embracing immigration and newcomers, and taking that extra step to make sure that we are becoming friends, as mentioned before. And that's, again, a role of settlement, it's a role of government, it's a role of communities and individuals, because we all have a part to play. So if there is a church supper, as an example, if someone in the community knows that there is a new family in the area, why not go and extend the invitation and say, let's go to this event together? And I really do believe that that sense of welcoming, we know Nova Scotians are, we're seeing it, but it is going that extra mile to make sure that we are still friendly and being a friend to those who are moving here.